First thing I'm going to deal with here that I got laid out on the subject matter, specifically of the pros and cons of 1099 and why, in my opinion, is not necessarily always better to be 1099. The first thing I want to address, like I did a video recently, a short. And the short, for you guys that didn't see it, I do want to show it real quick because that's kind of what I'm going to be speaking from here. So you guys will get a chance to see it here real quick. All right.
You're going to be driving someone else's truck and they're offering you the option to be W-2 as an employee or 1099 as a subcontractor, then you should ask them what is the benefit in being 1099 for you. Because the benefit for them is just simpler on taxes. But you want to know what's the benefit for you. And if they respond with, well, you're going to make more money as 1099, then you should respond with, I should make more money as 1099. I have to cover the taxes on the income you're going to pay me. Plus, I got to cover my own insurance. And if there's any other benefit for you being 1099, then they should be able to tell you, because it may be one. But if they can't tell you, unless for some really good reason you don't want to be W-2, maybe you're ducking garnishment or something, you should just elect to be W-2. Typically, 1099, driving somebody else's truck as a company driver, is not where you want to be.
So I'm assuming everybody heard that. Some of you guys probably saw it when I did it. And you know, the reason I want to do this video is because I got a lot of comments on that video that I want to address, okay, in this video right here. The first thing I want to cover deals with misclassification. There's a lot of people that commented on that video. You can't be 1099 driving somebody else's truck. That's the first thing. That's the first segment that I want to deal with right here. Why it's not that simple. It's not that cut and dry that you can't be 1099 driving somebody else's truck. So again, I got a lot of comments talking about that. Now, my own personal experience, I was 1099 for the first 5 years of my trucking career driving for my dad. And I want to throw out a caveat here. I haven't done any research on California and the AB5. I know what AB5 is all about, but I am in Virginia. I do want to throw that out as well, okay? So I got personal experience with being 1099 driving someone else's truck. So from my perspective, the first thing I want to address and give you a little bit of information on the subject is it can be done. Now, for the individuals that just commented on the video, or for the individuals that think that, well, you just can't be 1099 driving somebody else's truck. The IRS has a set of rules that they go by to be able to decide and see if an individual that's driving someone else's truck should be classified as a 1099 subcontractor, self-employed individual, or whether they should actually be classified as an employee. In other words, the first point I want to make is it's not cut and dry. Not, at least not here in Virginia. And again, I'm excluding California. They're weird as far as I'm concerned. I know they got AB5 out there, but it's not cut and dry that you can't be 1099 driving somebody else's truck. So the first thing you got to know is the IRS would look at that situation and say, we got to dig in further. They wouldn't just look at that situation and say, oh, you can't do this. Okay. Now, the thing that they would want to know to decide whether a person that's 1099 driving somebody else's truck should be classified as an employee, W-2 or 1099 is how much control an employer has over the driver. That's one of the main issues that they're going to look at right there. So with my personal situation, my dad, the owner of the truck, did not have, he wasn't exerting really any control over me. Now, the thing is, that is not a typical situation. If you're working at a mega carrier and you guys that are commenting in the chat, please feel free to go ahead and comment all you want and leave your comments. I'm gonna get back to them, okay? But I wanna stay focused on what I want to talk about here. The people that are maybe thinking about from the perspective of working with a mega carrier, yeah, it might be blanket across the board that you're not gonna work for a mega carrier and be 1099 driving somebody else's truck. Throw out another caveat here. I'm excluding right now lease operators. I'm not talking about 1099 operating in the capacity of an owner. A lot of people that left comments on that video, I feel, were responding from the perspective of being 1099 operating in the capacity of the owner, i.e. a lease operator. And I wasn't speaking to the lease operator. I was speaking to the individual that is going to be driving somebody else's truck. And there's a lot of people out there that fit into that category, where they're not working for a mega carrier. They're driving for a small owner operator that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks. And when they are in those situations, they might be presented with the opportunity to go 1099 or to go W-2. Depending on the degree of control that the employer has over the driver, that's going to determine whether the IRS says you should be classified as one or the other. Again, just want to make it clear that it's not blanket. It's not, you hear that situation, you say, oh, that's illegal, because it's not. In my situation, my dad, like I said, he didn't really exert any control over me. I could come and go when I wanted to. I could stop work, not work. You know, I could go and drive somebody else's truck if I wanted to, which I did sometimes, right? I had other people in my family that drove truck and they couldn't go out driving their truck for a day or running their load for a day, and I would drive for them. So we didn't have a typical employee-employer relationship. All right. So again, just want to make that clear, that it's not just you hear 1099 driving somebody else's truck, and that automatically means the company is should be classifying you as W-2.